when they were walking across those desert vistas and we saw the lens flare. There is a sun. There is some celestial body thing in the world. Did they not realize that there's something else beyond their planet?
They still may think that their planet is flat.
That's what I wondered that too. Are they flat earthers or apers?
Or how far along they are in this. And Taylor's ship sank in the water, so it's not like they can just go get it.
Right.
And they haven't really shown us the technology that they can actually do those things yet. I mean, they're riding horses and using torches.
True.
But they got guns.
And
guns.
photography.
They have guns. But it was just kind of interesting.
Cameras.
It was interesting that Cornelius is jokingly said it was a stunt. Humans don't write. And then Cornelius and Taylor's replied at some point with some gigantic story about this backstory. So Cornelius is now having to believe that he this is fake, this isn't real, and Taylor has some crazy imagination,
Right.
Talking about being from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and all this kind of stuff.
We do know that Cornelius at this point is an archaeologist, not an astronomer.
True.
So that's not his background.
If there is even an astronomy
science
in this world.
In this world, yeah.
We can't question what those other notes are in Cornelius's hand. They could be the things that tell you, I come from a world, has this many planets revolving around this sun. We left and did this. We're the United States of America.
Of years.
He could have explained these things, but at the same time, usually, even if you've already explained it and somebody begins to question you, that's when you go and rip the paper out and this is what I've already told you. And he is so passive for a man that is in an upside-down world.
Right. Or at least come up with something that would make sense to him if he doesn't believe in planets and other aliens. I would have been like, all right, let's figure out some place that we can take this where I can get you to believe me, and I'm not going to get more exaggerated and extreme in my story.
Right.
All right, so let's take it back a notch. Let's go back into our weird. We haven't figured out what the equivalent is of humans versus apes in this world. We're going to just say dog. Imagine that all of a sudden you had a dog that can write sentences. Holy crap, that's incredible. And then this dog is telling you that they've been in a spaceship for thousands of years and they've flown over here and they've crashed and came from Fort Wayne, Indiana and everything. Which one makes more sense to you, or would be easier to believe, that this dog that can write and communicate with me, that thinks it can talk but its throat is hurt, is from another planet, or is actually from this planet and just has deviated somewhere? The more logical choice to pick would be the dog is from here.
True.
Rather than being from another planet, just happens to speak the same language as us, just happens to write the same language as us, communicates us, and looks like all these weird other things that are on our planet too. So they've got to assume that Taylor is from their planet, just somehow different than all the other things that are there.
So are we dealing? I'm just guessing because I'm not a psychologist or an anthropologist.
Wait a second, you didn't go to psychology?
I'm trying to figure out what
you are fired, Mister.
I'm trying to figure out what
why have you been prescribing me drugs all this time?
Follow under this. So, and I'm just guessing. So when we're looking at the ape society, we have this idea of a talking dog. We've now introduced to this society. Is this society somewhere kind of in between primitive and advanced? Because I would imagine that a very primitive society would take this as a wonder.
Yeah.
And a very modern society, more like ours, would also take this as a, what is this? We got to figure this out. This is great. So that are they in a weird in-between state where they can't believe this, but they also don't have the means to kind of...
They truly are, because as you pose that, for the first time I started thinking, okay, the modern things they have guns and they have photography and a few other little things here. They have crude bars, their guns are crude, everything is crude, yet they're having conversations about existence. That's not... I don't know that you're going to be that primitive when you begin talking about these existential type
That's more
ponderings,
think of it like being a medieval society where we don't have a whole lot of high technology. You've got carts, horses, paintings. You do have maths and sciences. You have not modern weapons, but you got bows and arrows and slings. You don't have a gun. Well, the Chinese probably at this point have a gun when we talk like the medieval ages. But I would put them kind of in that area because they live in stone houses. They're not caves, but they're not modern houses. They do have that technology of guns versus cameras. but they use whips and ropes and nets and stuff like that. So they're kind of like a mishmash of it. So,
yeah, so I think they're not so primitive that they would find him to be a marvel, and they're not so
advanced that they want to find out everything about him.
It is a weird juxtaposition of all of it.
He'd be like a heretic or something along those lines. Like, this doesn't fit into our belief system.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got. What about you guys?
I think that is all of Taylor's BS that I can stand for one day.
For this day. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this Thursday Minute. We want to ask you if you want to contact us, you can reach us at podcast@mythoftheapes.com. You can find our website, mythoftheapes.com. You can find our social media on there. Rate, review, subscribe, all that social media jazz. We appreciate it. For Richard and Todd, I'm Sean, and we will see you one more day on Friday.
One more day.
It's almost Friday.
It's almost Friday.
Yeah.
Bye, boys.
Minute of the Apes.